Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every human life, a moment when the loudest battle is no longer happening outside, it's happening within. No audience, no applause, no witnesses, just you, standing face to face with the person you have become and the person you still have the courage to become. Most people spend their entire lives fighting competitors, trying to prove themselves to strangers, chasing validation from people who have never walked in their shoes. But the greatest victory has never been over another human being. The greatest victory is mastering yourself. Because every dream you've ever imagined, every goal you've ever written down, every future you've ever hoped for depends on one invisible decision. Will you surrender to your inner weaknesses, or will you command your own destiny? Today, this isn't another motivational speech. This is a declaration of war. Not against the world, but against every fear, every excuse, every limiting belief, and every version of yourself that refuses to grow. If you're ready, then don't just listen, decide. Because by the end of this journey, you won't be the same person who pressed play. Let's begin. Part 1. The Invisible Enemy. Before you build success, before you create wealth, before you transform your life, you must identify your greatest opponent. Most people think their enemy is a lack of money. Others blame bad luck, unfair circumstances, or difficult people. But none of those stand between you and your future every single day. The real enemy wakes up when you wake up. It knows your fears. It understands your habits. It whispers comfortable lies in a calm voice. It says, "Tomorrow will be a better day. You deserve one more break. You're not ready yet." Little by little, those whispers become decisions. Those decisions become routines. Those routines become your identity. And before you realize it, years have disappeared. Not because life was impossible, but because comfort quietly replaced courage. Here's the truth that few people accept. No prison has stronger walls than a mind that has accepted limitation. The chains are invisible, but they are incredibly heavy. Every extraordinary life begins with one act of rebellion, not against society, not against failure, but against the weak voice inside that says, "This is enough." The day you challenge that voice, everything begins to change. Because the battlefield has never been outside, it has always been within. And today, the fight begins. Part 2. Power of Choice. Every sunrise delivers the same gift: choice. It doesn't matter where you were born. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you've made. It doesn't matter who believed in you or who walked away. Every morning, life quietly asks the same question: who will you become today? Most people answer without realizing it. They choose comfort. They choose familiarity. They choose the same thoughts, the same excuses, the same routines. And then they wonder why nothing changes. But extraordinary people understand something different. Your future is never created by chance. It is created by repeated choices. Every small decision, every difficult conversation, every early morning, every disciplined action is placing another brick in the foundation of your destiny. The problem isn't that success is impossible. The problem is that comfort feels easier today, while success rewards you tomorrow. And human nature always wants the reward now. That is why discipline feels painful. That is why sacrifice feels unfair. That is why growth feels uncomfortable. Because your old identity is fighting to survive. It wants you to stay predictable. It wants you to stay average. It wants you to believe that changing is too difficult. But remember this: every champion was once a beginner. Every leader was once ignored. Every millionaire once questioned whether they were good enough. The difference was never talent alone. The difference was commitment. When they had reasons to quit, they continued. When nobody believed, they kept working. When results were invisible, they trusted the process. Because they understood something that most people never discover. Your circumstances do not decide your future. Your decisions do. Right now, as you hear these words, another decision is waiting. Will you keep living the same year over and over again? Or will today become the day everything finally changes? The choice has always been yours, and it always will be.
Part 3. Breaking the Chains of Fear. Fear, it is one of the most powerful forces inside the human mind. It can stop a talented person from taking action. It can silence a brilliant idea before it ever reaches the world. It can convince a strong person that they are not strong enough. But here is the truth you must understand. Fear is not a sign that you should stop. Fear is often a sign that you are standing at the edge of growth. Every person you admire, every person who achieved something remarkable, had a moment when they felt uncertain, they felt doubt, they questioned themselves. The difference was not that they had no fear. The difference was they refused to let fear make their decisions. Most people wait until they feel confident before they begin. But confidence does not come before action. Confidence is created through action. You build courage by moving forward even when your hands shake, even when the path is unclear, even when nobody is cheering for you. Because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing your purpose over your fear. Think about how many opportunities people lose, not because they were incapable, but because they were afraid to try, afraid of failure, afraid of criticism, afraid of being judged. And slowly, they become prisoners of imaginary limits. But your mind can be trained, your thoughts can be controlled, your fears can be challenged. The voice that says, "You cannot do this," can be replaced with, "I will find a way." The thought that says, "What if I fail?" can become, "What if I succeed?" Every time you confront a fear, you take back a piece of your power. Every time you step beyond your comfort zone, you expand the person you are capable of becoming. Remember, a cage does not always have metal bars. Sometimes a cage is a belief you accepted about yourself, a belief that says you are too late, a belief that says you are not talented enough, a belief that says your dreams are unrealistic. But beliefs can change, and when your beliefs change, your entire life begins to move in a new direction. The world does not need a perfect version of you. It needs the courageous version of you, the version that stands up, the version that tries again, the version that refuses to surrender. Because the greatest victories in life are not won by people who never felt afraid. They are won by people who felt fear and moved forward anyway. Today, choose courage, choose growth, choose to become the person your future is waiting for. The chains are breaking, and your real journey has just begun. Part 4. Mastering the voice inside your mind. There is a conversation that never stops. Every single day, every single hour, every single moment, your mind is speaking to you. Sometimes it encourages you. Sometimes it warns you. But if you are not careful, it begins to control you. Most people never realize that the quality of their life is deeply connected to the quality of their inner dialogue. If your mind constantly repeats, "I can't, I'm not good enough, I'll never make it," then eventually your actions will obey those words. Because every action begins as a thought, and every thought has the power to become a habit. This is why mastering your mind is one of the greatest skills you will ever develop. Your mind is an incredible servant, but it is a dangerous master. Leave it undisciplined, and it will feed you doubt. Train it with intention, and it will build confidence. The strongest people in the world do not have perfect lives. They simply refuse to let negative thoughts become permanent beliefs. When failure visits them, they ask, "What can I learn?" When obstacles appear, they ask, "How can I overcome this?" When life becomes difficult, they remind themselves, "This moment is temporary." That is the difference. Champions don't think differently because life is easier. They think differently because they have trained their minds. Every morning, you have a choice. Will you allow fear to write today's story, or will you take the pen and write it yourself? Do not underestimate the power of one encouraging thought. One positive decision can create another. One disciplined action can inspire another. One victory can become the beginning of a new life. Speak to yourself with the same belief that you would give to someone you truly love. Replace doubt with determination. Replace excuses with responsibility. Replace hesitation with action, because your future is listening to every word you say to yourself today. Remember this: the loudest voice you hear every day should never be the voice that limits you. It should be the voice that reminds you who you are becoming. Control your thoughts, master your mind, and no challenge will ever be greater than the strength you carry within. Today, silence the voice that says you are not enough, and awaken the voice that declares, "I was created for more." This is where true transformation begins.
Part 5. The discipline that creates greatness. Success is rarely built in moments of excitement. It is built in moments of discipline. When nobody is watching, when nobody is applauding, when nobody even knows that you are still showing up. That is where greatness is born. Many people believe that motivation is the secret. They wait to feel inspired. They wait for the perfect mood. They wait for the perfect opportunity. And while they wait, life keeps moving. But disciplined people understand something different. They don't depend on emotions. They depend on commitment. They keep moving even when they feel tired. They keep learning even when progress seems invisible. They keep believing even when results have not yet arrived. Because they know that consistency will always defeat intensity when intensity cannot be sustained. Think about the strongest buildings in the world. They were not built in a single day. They were built one brick at a time. Your character is no different. Every promise you keep to yourself adds another brick. Every temptation you overcome makes the foundation stronger. Every difficult decision shapes the person you are becoming. Discipline is not punishment. It is freedom. The freedom to control your future. The freedom to choose long-term success over short-term comfort. The freedom to become someone who keeps their word. And when you become that person, confidence no longer comes from empty motivation.
It comes from undeniable proof. Proof that you can trust yourself. Because every single day, you are becoming the kind of person who finishes what they started. Never forget this. Your habits are writing your future long before the world ever notices your success. So choose wisely. Choose discipline when excuses sound convincing. Choose consistency when quitting feels easier. Choose responsibility when blaming others seems easier. One day, people will call you successful. They will admire your confidence. They will celebrate your achievements. But they will never see the thousands of quiet moments when you chose discipline instead of comfort. Those unseen moments will become the story behind every victory. So stand up, stay focused, keep your promise to yourself, because greatness is never an accident. It is the reward for those who remain disciplined long after everyone else has given up. Today, do what your future self will thank you for, and never stop building the life you were born to create.
Part 6. Becoming Unstoppable. There comes a point when life stops asking, "What do you want?" and starts asking, "What are you willing to endure?" Everyone wants success. Everyone wants freedom. Everyone wants a life filled with purpose. But very few people are willing to pay the price. Because the road to greatness is not comfortable. It is lonely. It is demanding. It will test your patience, your discipline, and your character. There will be mornings when you don't feel like continuing. There will be nights when you question your progress. There will be seasons when it feels as though nothing is changing. But never confuse a lack of visible results with a lack of progress. The strongest roots grow underground long before anyone sees the tree. Your transformation is happening even when the world cannot see it. Do not measure your future by today's struggle. Measure it by the person you are becoming. Because every challenge is teaching you something. Every setback is building resilience. Every disappointment is strengthening your resolve. The people who change history are not those who never faced adversity. They are those who refused to surrender. When life knocked them down, they stood back up. When others walked away, they stayed committed. When the path became difficult, they kept moving forward. That is what makes a person unstoppable. Not talent, not luck, not perfect timing. An unstoppable person has made one decision: I will not quit. Those 4 words carry incredible power, because once quitting is no longer an option, your mind begins searching for solutions instead of excuses. Your energy changes, your focus sharpens, your confidence grows, not because life became easier, but because you became stronger. Remember this: storms do not last forever, but the strength you build during the storm can last a lifetime. So embrace the struggle, respect the process, trust your growth, and never allow a temporary obstacle to convince you that your permanent dream is impossible. Stand tall, keep moving, keep believing, because every step you take today is preparing you for a future far greater than you can currently imagine. This is your moment, not to wish, not to wait, but to become absolutely unstoppable. Part 7. The decision that changes everything. There is one moment that separates ordinary lives from extraordinary ones. It is not the moment you become successful. It is not the moment you become wealthy.
It is not even the moment the world begins to notice you. It is the moment you make an unbreakable decision. A decision that no obstacle, no disappointment, and no temporary failure will ever change your direction. Because everything in life begins with a decision. Before every invention, someone decided to believe. Before every great achievement, someone decided to begin. Before every remarkable comeback, someone decided, this is not where my story ends. The power of decision is greater than most people realize. One decision can change your habits. One decision can change your relationships. One decision can change your future. But that decision must be stronger than your emotions. Because emotions change. Some days you will feel unstoppable. Other days you will feel exhausted. If your commitment depends on how you feel, you will never become who you were created to be. Make decisions that survive difficult days. Make promises that outlast temporary pain. Make commitments that your future self will be proud of. Remember, history has never been written by people who waited for certainty. It has been written by people who moved forward despite uncertainty. The road ahead will never be completely clear. But you don't need to see the entire staircase. You only need the courage to take the next step. Every giant achievement was once a small decision. A decision to wake up earlier. To learn one more skill. To keep going when quitting felt easier. Do not underestimate the power of today's choices. Because today's choices become tomorrow's reality. If you decide to become stronger, you will. If you decide to become wiser, you will. If you decide to refuse mediocrity, your entire life will begin to change. Stand before yourself and make a promise. Not for 1 week, not for 1 month, but for the rest of your life. Promise yourself that you will no longer allow fear to make your decisions. Promise yourself that excuses will never again control your future. Promise yourself that no matter how difficult the journey becomes, you will continue moving forward. Because one unwavering decision has the power to rewrite an entire lifetime. Today, draw the line. Leave the old version behind you. And step forward as the person who has finally decided to become unstoppable.
Part 8. The Price of Greatness. Every dream has a price. Every meaningful achievement demands a sacrifice. The question is not whether you will pay a price. The question is, which price will you choose? Because life always collects payment. You can pay the price of discipline, or you can pay the price of regret. You can sacrifice a few hours of comfort today, or sacrifice years of opportunity tomorrow. The choice has always been yours. Most people want extraordinary results while living an ordinary routine. They hope without preparing. They wish without working. They expect without committing. And then they wonder why success never arrives. But greatness does not respond to wishes. It responds to effort,
to persistence, to sacrifice. There will be moments when your friends choose entertainment while you choose improvement. There will be days when others sleep longer while you rise earlier. There will be seasons when nobody understands why you keep pushing. Keep going anyway, because not everyone will understand a vision they did not receive. The eagle does not ask permission to fly above the storm. It simply spreads its wings. You must learn to do the same. Stop asking whether the journey is hard. Ask yourself whether your dream is worth the effort. If the answer is yes, then stop complaining and keep climbing. The mountain does not become smaller. You become stronger. Every obstacle is preparing you for a level that weaker versions of you could never reach. Remember this. The world celebrates the victory, but it rarely sees the sacrifice. People admire the confidence, but they never witnessed the years of self-doubt you conquered. They applaud the success, but they never watched the countless mornings when you refused to quit. Those invisible moments become the foundation of every visible achievement. So embrace the process, respect the sacrifice, honor the discipline, because nothing valuable comes cheaply, and the greatest reward is not the success waiting at the finish line. The greatest reward is the person you become on the journey. One day, you will look back and realize that every difficult choice, every painful lesson, and every sacrifice was shaping you into someone capable of achieving far more than you once believed possible. So keep moving, keep growing, keep paying the right price, because greatness belongs only to those who are willing to earn it. Today, choose the price that your future self will proudly remember.
Part 9. The Legacy You Leave Behind. One day, your journey will come to an end. Not today, not tomorrow, but someday. The question is not how long you will live. The question is how deeply you will live. Because every human being leaves something behind. Some leave excuses. Some leave regret. Some leave a life that was never fully lived. But others leave a legacy of courage, a legacy of discipline, a legacy that inspires people long after they are gone. Your legacy is not measured by the size of your bank account. It is measured by the lives you choose to impact, by the hope you give to others, by the example you set when life becomes difficult. Anyone can speak when everything is easy, but true character is revealed when the pressure rises. Will you become someone who complains or someone who leads? Will you become someone who follows fear or someone who inspires courage? Remember, someone is always watching. A child learning from your actions, a friend watching your perseverance, a stranger finding strength in your example. You may never know how many lives your determination will influence. That is why every decision matters, every habit matters, every word matters, because your life is sending a message whether you realize it or not.
Make that message worth remembering. Stand for integrity. Stand for excellence. Stand for kindness. Stand for resilience. Do the right thing even when nobody applauds. Keep your promises even when nobody is watching. Lead with humility even when success finds your name. Because titles will eventually fade. Possessions will eventually disappear. Fame will eventually be forgotten. But the impact you leave on people can last for generations. Live in such a way that when someone speaks your name, they remember your courage, your honesty, your strength, your unwavering commitment to becoming the very best version of yourself. At the end of your life, you will not ask how much comfort you experienced. You will ask whether you lived with purpose, whether you loved without fear, whether you gave more than you took, and whether you became the person you were always capable of becoming. That is the legacy worth fighting for. So begin today. Live intentionally, lead boldly, and leave behind a story that refuses to be forgotten.
Part 10. Rise beyond your limits. There is a version of you that already exists. A version stronger than your fears, wiser than your doubts, braver than your excuses. The question is, will you ever meet that person? Too many people spend their lives living beneath their potential, not because they lack ability, but because they accepted the limits they placed upon themselves. They stopped believing, they stopped growing, they stopped challenging the person in the mirror. Never allow your current reality to define your ultimate destiny. Where you stand today is not where you must remain. Every great transformation begins with one belief: I can become more. More disciplined, more focused, more resilient, more determined. Growth is not comfortable. It asks you to leave behind the habits that once felt safe. It asks you to let go of the identity that no longer serves you. That process can be painful, but remember this: a seed must break open before it becomes a mighty tree. A diamond must endure pressure before it shines, and a human soul must face adversity before it discovers its true strength. Do not fear the process that is shaping you. Welcome it. Every challenge is stretching your capacity. Every setback is strengthening your spirit. Every lesson is preparing you for responsibilities greater than you have ever carried. One day, you will look back and thank every obstacle that refused to let you stay average, because those obstacles forced you to become extraordinary. Never compare your Chapter 1 to someone else's Chapter 20. Your race is your own. Your journey is unique. Your purpose belongs to you alone. So stop measuring your progress against other people. Measure it against the person you were yesterday. If you are stronger today, you are winning. If you are wiser today, you are growing. If you refuse to quit today, you are already becoming the person you once dreamed of becoming. Raise your standards, raise your expectations, raise your vision, because the world will rarely expect more from you than you expect from yourself. Stand up, look forward, take another step, then another and another, because greatness is not found at the edge of your comfort zone. It is waiting beyond every limit you dare to break. Today, choose to rise, not just above your circumstances,
but above every limitation that once convinced you you could never become extraordinary.
Part 11. The Life You Were Born to Live. There comes a moment when you stop asking, "What if I fail?" and you begin asking, "What if I never try?" That question has the power to awaken a sleeping soul. Too many people reach the end of their lives carrying dreams they never pursued, words they never spoke, gifts they never shared, not because they lacked potential, but because they allowed fear to become their permanent companion. Do not let that become your story. You were not created to simply exist. You were created to make a difference, to leave a mark, to inspire, to build, to grow, to become everything you are capable of becoming. The world does not need another copy of someone else. It needs the authentic version of you. Your voice matters. Your vision matters. Your purpose matters. Even if nobody else can see it yet, believe in it before the world does. Protect it when others doubt it. Work for it when nobody applauds. Because every meaningful dream is tested before it is fulfilled. There will be people who misunderstand you. There will be moments when progress feels invisible. There will be days when giving up seems easier than continuing. Keep moving. One step, one decision, one disciplined action at a time. Success is rarely the result of one giant leap. It is built by countless small victories. Celebrate your progress. Respect your journey. Honor your commitment. Because every single day you refuse to quit, you become stronger than the person you were yesterday. Never forget, life is not asking you to be perfect. Life is asking you to be faithful to your purpose, to rise after every fall, to learn after every mistake, to continue after every setback. That is where greatness lives. One day, you will look back and realize the hardest moments were not sent to destroy you. They were sent to prepare you, to shape you, to reveal the strength that was always inside you. So stand tall, lift your head, believe again, dream again, fight again, because the life you were born to live is still waiting for the decision you make today. Today, choose purpose, choose courage, choose growth, and never stop becoming the person you were destined to be. Part 12. The final victory begins today. This is not the end. It is the beginning. A beginning that only you can create. You have listened to every lesson. You have walked through every challenge. You have faced the invisible battles that live inside every human heart. Now, there is only one question left. What will you do with everything you have learned? Knowledge without action changes nothing. Dreams without commitment remain dreams. Hope without discipline fades away. Your future will not be built by what inspired you today. It will be built by what you choose to do tomorrow, and the day after that, and every day that follows. Remember, life does not reward good intentions. Life rewards consistent action. Do not wait for the perfect opportunity. Become the opportunity. Do not wait for someone to believe in you.
Believe in yourself until your actions make belief impossible to ignore. The road ahead will still have obstacles. There will still be failures. There will still be moments when doubt knocks on your door. But now, you know something you did not know before. You are stronger than your fear. You are greater than your excuses. You are capable of far more than your past has ever proven. Never again allow yesterday to decide who you become tomorrow. Every sunrise is another invitation, another chance to become wiser, another chance to become stronger, another chance to build the future you deserve. Stand up with purpose. Walk forward with confidence. Speak with conviction. Work with discipline. Lead with integrity. And never forget, the greatest battle was never against the world. It was always against the limits you accepted inside your own mind. Today, those limits end. Today, a stronger person walks forward. A wiser person takes control. A fearless person chooses action over excuses. This is your life. This is your moment. This is your decision. No one else can make it for you. So when this message ends, do not simply close the video. Close the chapter of the person who settled for less. Open the chapter of the person who refuses to live an ordinary life. Because one day, people will ask what changed you, and your answer will be simple. The day I finally decided to master myself, everything else began to change. Go forward. Keep growing. Keep believing. Keep fighting. And never stop becoming the greatest version of yourself. Thank you for listening. Now go and create a life that your future self will be proud to remember.
Final closing. Your new life starts now. Before you leave, pause. For just one moment, take a deep look at the person you are right now. Not the person the world expects you to be. Not the person your past tried to define, but the person standing here at the edge of a brand new beginning. Because from this moment forward, you have a choice. You can return to the life you had before, the same excuses, the same fears, the same habits. Or you can walk away as someone completely different, someone who no longer waits for permission, someone who no longer blames the past, someone who understands that the greatest power has always existed within. Never forget, the world changes one courageous decision at a time, one disciplined action at a time, one determined person at a time. Why shouldn't that person be you? Years from now, when you look back, don't remember this as just another video. Remember it as the moment everything changed, the moment you stopped making excuses, the moment you chose courage over comfort, the moment you became the leader of your own life. Your future is waiting. Your dreams are waiting. Your best self is waiting. Don't keep them waiting any longer. Stand up, take action, believe deeply, work relentlessly, live with purpose, and never, ever forget this truth. The strongest person you will ever become is the person you choose to become today. Thank you for believing in yourself. Now go into the world and create a life that inspires others to believe in themselves. This is your time. This is your life.